good to hiding. Y'all know some of them pyramids back through there. NASA and all that equipment they be hiding all back through here. Yeah. I mean, it's the front of the car, it's the back. Look down through there. Nothing. I'm on the side of the road trying to see through there. Nothing. Nothing but bushes all down through here, guys. Look. Y'all know they got some head back there. Look at that. What are the houses? None. Nothing but bats.
This is a part of the beauty of the Garden of Eden. I've pointed out to man, I've proven it by natural monuments, the same as are described in the Bible, and I've given him a direction as to how to go there. And they're going to come here by the tens of thousands, not gamblers and crooks and speculators, but the finest men and women on this earth, to come here and feel. You feel something here you don't feel anywhere else in the world.
Where in Genesis, the river flowing out of Eden, which waters the garden, parts and becomes into 4 heads. First there is the Gihon, now known as the Flint River, which flows towards the land of Ethiopia. Then the Euphrates, the Spring Creek River, whose name was transferred to the Middle East after the flood. The Hiddekel River is Fish Pond Creek River, which borders the land of ancient Assyria. And finally the last of the 4 rivers, the wide and lovely Pison, the Chattahoochee, today a river of trade and commerce. The names of these rivers and the land surrounding them were transferred to the other side of the world. The legend of the Bountiful Garden, too, was transferred to the Middle East, where archaeologists have searched in vain for a 4-head river system, such as described in the Bible.
Throughout history, we have been misled about our origins, our homeland, and our true identity. America, once known as Aimsum, is not just a land of opportunity, but the sacred birthplace of the children of the sun. The stories we have been told about Egypt being across the Atlantic are illusions crafted to keep us disconnected from our true power. The great civilization that we associate with Africa was actually rooted right beneath our feet. This is the secret that has been kept from us, hidden in plain sight within the very soil of this sacred land. Scattered across the so-called United States are ancient pyramids and earthworks that rival those of the so-called Old World. These structures, often buried beneath time, eroded or deliberately destroyed, stand as silent witnesses to a grand past that has been erased from history books. From the great mounds of Cahokia to the forgotten step pyramids of the Mississippi Valley, evidence of our ancestors' mastery still lingers. Even now, as we walk the land, our indigenous spirits feel the pull of a forgotten age, calling us back to our rightful heritage. Yet despite the undeniable truth being all around us, we have been conditioned to believe in a fabricated history. The education system was never designed to empower us with knowledge of who we truly are. Instead, it fills our minds with carefully crafted narratives that keep us spiritually and mentally enslaved. The invaders rely on our ignorance, for our consent gives them power. But now the veil has been lifted, and we see clearly. No longer will we accept the lies they have fed us for generations. The revival of our culture, our greatness, and our divine connection to the land depends on us. We, the keepers of the sacred flame, must reclaim our birthright and restore our ancient wisdom. The power of our ancestors flows through our veins, waiting for us to awaken. We are the living continuation of a legacy that cannot be erased. No matter how much they try to bury the truth, the time has come to unlearn the deception and walk boldly in the light of knowledge. Generations of forced assimilation have severed many of us from the ways of our ancestors, but their whispers still echo in the wind, in the rivers, and in the soil beneath our feet. They left their mark in the land, in the stars, and within our DNA. It is our duty to reconnect, to reignite the sacred traditions that once defined us. The land remembers, the ancestors remember. It is time that we too remember the powers that fear this awakening, for they have built their empire upon the erasure of our truth. They distort our legacy, mock our history, and appropriate our symbols, all in an effort to keep us disoriented. But knowledge is a fire that cannot be extinguished. We are the flames of our ancestors, and we burn brighter with each revelation. As we reclaim our knowledge, we dismantle the illusions that have kept us bound. This movement is not just about reclaiming history. It is about reclaiming our spiritual and cosmic identity. We are not just inhabitants of this land. We are its guardians, its rightful stewards. We are part of a sacred continuum that stretches beyond time, beyond the physical world, into the realm of the eternal. This land, our land, is a living entity, and it calls to us to rise once more. The reawakening of our people is not simply an act of resistance. It is an act of love, an act of remembrance, and an act of transformation. When we reclaim our past, we forge a stronger future, one that is not dictated by the oppressors, but by the wisdom and resilience of our ancestors. We do this not only for ourselves, but for the generations yet to come, ensuring that they inherit a truth untainted by deception. This land has always been ours. It is the land of the lost but never forgotten. Tamari, Aimsum, America, the true land of the indigenous warrior. Our ancestors built civilizations here long before the colonizers set foot on these shores, and their spirits still guide us today. Do not be swayed by their confusion, their false maps, and their rewritten histories. Stand firm, reclaim your heritage, and walk in the truth. The past, present, and future are in our hands. Now is the time to rise, to unify, and to heal. The journey ahead is not just about exposing falsehoods, but about embodying the truth in every aspect of our lives. We must restore our sacred traditions, honor the land, and teach our children the true history that has been kept from them. The future is ours to shape, and together, we will rebuild what was once lost, stronger and more radiant than ever before. We must remember that reclaiming our identity is not just about knowledge. It is about action. We must support and uplift one another, ensuring that the next generations do not fall victim to the same manipulations that have plagued us for centuries. We must create institutions, cultural centers, and educational systems that reflect our true history and values. The power to change our destiny is in our hands. The ancestors are watching, waiting for us to take our rightful place in the story of this land. They have endured, sacrificed, and fought for us to be here today. Their resilience is our strength. We must honor their legacy by continuing the work they began, by standing firm in our truth, and by reclaiming what has always been ours. The time for hesitation is over. The time for action is now. As the sacred flame of our heritage burns bright once more, we must remember that unity is our greatest weapon. No force can break the will of a people who know who they are. We must come together in knowledge, in strength, and in purpose. The path to restoration has been laid before us, and together we will walk it with pride, courage, and determination.